Let me tell you something as we start the show. It's a little something that I thought that you should know. So I will tell you as we settle into place. It's impossible to sing and play the bass. You're a lovely group of people, you deserve the courtesy of knowing what you can expect of me. I've practiced.
Hello.
But it will not mean a thing,
Any luck there?
cause it's impossible
Share
to play the bass
group.
and sing, sing, sing,
Oh, just sit here
sing.
and
You see,
wait.
the bass is
Just sit
fretless.
here and wait.
It's not like a guitar.
Bad lights.
Or bass you spin.
Oh my Lord, what an adventure. I can see people. I can see you. I can see you. I don't know what happened. Why did I stop seeing the names and it caused the trouble? Did everybody towel off? Did you see yourself fall? Did you get a chance to see yourself fall into the water? Somebody tell me you did, because it was great. Doug, did you fall into the sink with me? Because as I was washing my hands, the phone fell right into the water. Mic and all. We are here, we are here. Yes, I did you really? Good. Do you feel better, everybody? Everybody feeling refreshed from a nice, hot, soapy bath? Well, I'm sorry. That's the best I can do under the circumstances. That's what happened. I want you to look at last night's video, if you can, on YouTube, May 17th. Live at 585, live from 585, and watch the introduction because I have my statue. Oops. My statue is singing my theme, and I don't know how to put it on yet in front of this. Doug, you'll tell me how to do this. But look at 580 YouTube last night, May 17, live at 585. Oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. Listen, it's not perfect. The system's not perfect yet. I'm working on it. Is Francois there yet? I hope Francois didn't come in. Jamoka, did you see Francois? I don't want him to know we just dropped him in the tub. Oh, it's a little. Let me. I just want to tilt it up a little bit. This will be another major catastrophe. No, that's good. Look, see how easy that was? I set the knob, the little screw, just so I could move it slightly and not upset everything. Let me tell you something as we start the show. It's a little something I thought that you should know. So I will tell you as we settle into place. It's impossible to sing and play the bass. You're a lovely group of people. You deserve the courtesy of knowing what you can expect of me. I have practiced. But it will not mean a thing, obviously, because it's impossible to play the bass and sing, 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 sing. You see, the bass is fretless, it's not like a guitar. On bass, you spend your whole life wondering where the hell you are. It's got no little markers, just a fingerboard so bare, and lots of notes which really are not there. Do-da, do-dee, do-da, do-ba-do-da, do-dee-do-do, do-do-do. Then when you start singing, you've got lyrics on your mind. Lyrics on your mind. And the notes on bass become impossible to find. To remember lyrics, melodies, bass lines, and chords is no less a miracle than the Lord's. Wah, 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 wah. So as I make 1,000 errors, sit there and be kind. Do not throw tomatoes at me, keep this all in mind. Remember this is serious, remember this is art. Remember this or I will fall apart. Do do do, bum ba do do, bum ba do be do be do 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 do, bum boom boom boom, bum boom boom boom, bum boom bum boom boom. Then I'd have seed. And she'd only sit and laugh at my wanton greed. She made the rules for molecules, atoms, time, and space. Yes, she made the rules for molecules, atoms, time, and space. She made the rules for molecules, atoms, time, and space. She made the rules for molecules, atoms, time, and space. And she knows it's impossible to sing and play the bass. The bass. The bass. Jeff Link is watching. Michelle Benson. Take a bow. Oh, take a bow. Was that take a bow or take a bow? When the phone splashed, I thought you were going to, quote, I cover the waterfront. I don't cover the waterfront. The waterfront covers me. Take a bow. Joe Fitzgerald is watching. Hello, Joe. How are you? It's been a lively show already, and we've just barely gotten started. Dave Bargeron. Hey, David, how are you, man? Dave Bargeron, the world's greatest trombone player. In D. Well, I knew you'd get that, John. I knew you'd get that. I heard display shot here in Flushing. Flushing. Aha. I think I get it. Broadcast interrupting. Yeah, I know. You keep disappearing. I know, that's what people tell me. What was it singing? Your major award. Thank you. Where is it? Thank you, Howard. Thank you. We must be reminded from time to time of my excellence. And my excellence was that in 1997, I won the Best Jazz Instrumentalist Singer. And I got this award, but the award you see around his neck is for 1990. It's too close. It can't focus on it. For 1992. I won it in 1992, too. I was hot in the 90s. I was a big deal in the 90s. And then it all went away. Actually not. It hasn't gone away at all. I've now just been doing more of my own singing, performing now. The studios sort of dried up in the 90s. And I remembered what Bucky Pizzarelli did. When he saw the studios going away, he just started playing out. And that's when he really got hot. Because he had... He knew he wasn't going to work too much in the studio, so he just started playing gigs all over the place, and that's the fun of it. And now I just hope we'll get back to doing it, one way or the other. I got a call today from somebody, Joe Mucciano, who has his own show, and he's going to come. He starts at, what time does it start? 7 o'clock. Boy, that's a popular hour. I imagine, right after dinner. But I was there first. And so the other 900,000 people who want to broadcast at 7, go right ahead. But I've got my audience. I've got my audience. Joe Muccio is going to join us on one of these nights with his whole group. So somehow they're all going to tune in. They're going to link into this. So it'd be very crowded for a while. At about 7:30 on one of these nights coming up. That'll be interesting. Let's see how I can handle it. I mean, in terms of just technically. You keep disappearing. Well, I think that's old news. Broadcast interruptus. Francois Alexander, bring them on camera. Mike Miller, Joycey, Howard Gloucester, yeah. Jeff Link is watching. Michelle Benson, Mike Miller, take a bow. When the phone started splash, I thought you were in. I covered the waterfront. Doing well, Jay. Good to see you. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. You'd be amazed. Just heard Flight 861 for the first time. So much fun. Little lady standing there on Flight 861. Hello, Lenore Raphael. How are you? Red Mitchell told me he could not sing and play the bass. Consequently, he sang while playing the piano. That's true. That's true. Still hot, man. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Multi-talented stand-up comedy, Michelle Benson. Very good. Now we're getting there. I was hot in the 90s too, Jay, but I think we are talking about two different things. I don't get it. Oh, didn't you hear Beat a Midget yodeling giant steps? You were there. You were there. Yes. They didn't know what he was doing. So I sang Happy Birthday. Liz Marshall is watching. Uh-oh, I got to mind my P's and Q's. Paul Nowinski. Paul, hey, baby. Tomoka Ono Farnham is 17 Pandas. Christopher Lance is watching. Vinnie Marshall. Sounds great. Well, thank you. You missed it. You missed the tub experience. You fell into a tub. And I do want you to go take a look at, if you get a chance, the YouTube. I can't play it here. This guy sings. It's impossible to sing and play the bass to open the show, and I'm going to keep trying to do that. I'm going to do a better version of it. That's my first version of it. But this guy here, and he's wearing this piece of cloth because one of our viewers complained that, oh dear, it's gotten turned around. It's terrible. Excuse me. It's just in modesty. Oh, poor guy. There you go. My wife made a skirt for him because one of our viewers claimed he had no genitalia. And he's a very gentle guy. I don't understand that. And so he's going to be singing for you. I've got to do a better version of it. Okay. Fabulous award. Thank you, Christopher. You and I understand. By the way, Chris, I was looking into all the stuff that you did. I've got a million pictures of you and Les here. Oh, speaking of pictures, I just want to show you a picture I found today. Do-do-dee-da-da-do-dee-da. By the way, this is turning out to be my favorite picture. When we go national, we are already international. This is simply New York. I tell you, live from 585. I love this picture. And can you see which I didn't notice. There's a guy back here in the mirror. I never noticed that before. There's a guy in there, and I never saw him doing that. He's going to be famous. Here's a picture I took on, I don't remember how it happened, but I was on a yacht going around the bay here, New York Bay, and as we passed the Statue of Liberty, somebody took this picture. That's a nice picture, don't you think? And here, ladies and gentlemen, in all of his glory, John Weber wearing a tie with
who's that? Fats Waller, and I don't know who the other person is, but that's John Weber. Oh, this is... Well, that's about all we have there. It's time to get on to, it's time to move on to both Art Tatum. Both Art Tatum, really. Oh, Art Tatum, I've heard of him. No kidding. Wow, there's Art Tatum. I never see a picture of Art Tatum that young. The Art Tatum tie. You never get to see Art Tatum that young. Excuse me, I have to move my, I hate to move my award. Look at the one up on top. Not John, this guy. Whoops. That's Art Tatum very young. I've never seen that before. When I was young, I used to take Art Tatum solos and transcribe them as well as I could, and then write the bass lines to them. And I would play along with them. And that was before you could slow them down. I learned to slow them down on one of these apps. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it anymore. But when I studied with Ray Brown, dropping a big name, I did. I studied with him up at the Advanced School of Contemporary Music in 1960 and 61. That's only 60 years ago. It's not that far back. He told me that he also used to transcribe Art Tatum. He would play along with Art Tatum. He would try to take down all the chord changes. And we all did that. Well, he and I did it. I don't know how many, I'm sure lots of other people had done it too. But I felt, oh, well, see that? Bring your hidden, it says, yearning to breathe, and the guy over there with the bass. Stephen Davis. Okay. Well, today was the first day in 5 weeks that we have had alternate side of the street parking. And wouldn't you know, my spot was good. And everybody, people didn't know how to even start their cars. They went in, how do you do this? Nobody had driven their car for that so long. But I thought I'd do a couple songs just dedicated to cars. It's a challenge, it's a feat, but a responsibility we meet. Something that New Yorkers must see through. It's a drag, it's a pain, but a fact of life so very plain. Something that we simply have to do. As the garbage must be schlepped, so the streets they must be swept. From the west side to the FDR. So at the crack of dawn, the alarm clock switches on. You get up, get dressed, go down and move the car. Every morning at 8 o'clock, every auto on the block must vacate the chosen side. Then a sweeper passes by. The dirt and dust do fly.
We sit and watch and nearly burst with civic pride. But you've double parked your car and you must not wander far. 'Cause someone who you're blocking in may find he must get out. Get out. And if they can't locate you, they quickly come to hate you. A little slice of life you're better off without. Do-do-be-boo-boo, ba-boo-boo, ba-boo-boo, ba-ba-do-do-dee-dee-doo-doo, ba-boo-ba, Of course, you're better off by far if you do not own a car. Just take a bus, a taxi, limousine, or rent a hearse. And if you're fearless in the brain, you'll take a subway train. Just hold on to your bag, your money, wallet, and your purse. Oh, our whole lives we are spending in this ritual unending. 'Cause we're New Yorkers to the core. Every morning bleary-eyed, we move our cars from side to side, as we will forevermore. Ba-ba-ba. To our cars we gaily prance, just to do the daily dance, as we will forevermore, evermore, evermore, evermore. That song has gotten too high. It's a challenge, it's a feat, but a responsibility we meet. Something that New Yorkers must see through. Remind me to do it in G the next time, not in B flat. I'm getting to like my voice sounding lower, so I've got to reconstruct everything. Down. Okay, folks. Now is the big raffle. I thought of a great word that nobody's thought of. Ron Tursa was watching. Hey, Catherine. I was doing a show we were both doing shows. Catherine was the director of the show called In Your Face, New York, an internet show that struggled mightily to be successful, but fell down. We had been on the air, you can still see it, In Your Face, New York. Had a lot of wonderful people in it. I was the musical director of the show. We had a great band and a fabulous cast, but must have done 15 shows maybe, something like that. And Catherine was the director of it. And I'm out in the park with Vaughn today, and all of a sudden, this woman is standing there with a camera looking at me, and I'm covered up all like this. I'm covered everything, and it's Catherine, and she walked up from 42nd Street, and I'm at 86th. That's some walk, and I hadn't seen her since the show closed, and it was great to see you, Catherine. It was great, and we had a nice little talk, and off she went on her 5-mile walk. 5 miles. Anyway, it was great to see you, and I hope you'll drop in to see us from time to time. Gee, it is beautiful, yes. Christopher Lynn, sounds good. Extravaganza. Albert Cutson. Oh, these are words. Okay, I just need a blank piece of paper. This I didn't prepare for. I didn't prepare a blank piece of paper. These are all my daughter's paper. I can't move them. She's teaching in here when I'm. But I'll find it. I'll find a blank piece. Is that hers or mine? Oh no, I forgot. I'm doing it on the computer. Excuse me. I'm going to be way behind. Okay, extravaganza. How do you spell it? There's the S in there. Euphonic. E-U-P-H-O-N. Euphonic. I'm going to work my way down. Walrus. Yes, you walrus hurt the one you love. That's what he says. Okay, I'm writing the first rhyme that comes to me when I do. Telephoto. 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 Okay. That's very interesting. Concubine. 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 Oops, B-I-N-E. Michelle Benson, equality. E-Q-U-A-L-I-T. Equality. Equality. Not a lot of rhymes are coming to mind for equality, so they'll have to go in the middle of the sentence. Mike, disappointed. Disappointed. I must tell you, I'm writing rhymes next to them when they start occurring to me. 10 words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more. The next. What happened? Equality. Disappointed. Bonanza. 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 You're making this too easy for me. So that's extravaganza, euphonic, walrus, telephoto, concubine, equality, disappointed, bonanza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Euphonic. Dealing with sound, I suppose. Hi, Nick. Ned White. Acid. That's 9. Piccolo. Oh, Mike Myler, I'm sorry, but you're that's the 11th, and I'm not going to go more than 10 tonight. When I do 35 songs, my Piccolo.
Piccolo, piccolo. Piccolo. He played the piccolo, but he was very disappointed. The piccolo left him quite disjointed. He called up his friend Tony Danza, who at the time was filming an extravaganza. What can I do for a tonic? I'm so disappointed. It's not euphonic, whatever the hell euphonic means. I don't know what euphonic. Then suddenly in the heavens there appeared a sign. But he was playing flute in a concubine. He played the flute very poorly because up at Lake Placid he'd been dropping too much acid. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. So he called up his friend Russ Kassoff, known to some as Tall Russ the Walrus. He heard that General Yamamoto had done the same with telephoto. That didn't make any sense at all, but he was just disjointed and terribly disappointed. And he gave up the piccolo. I know it's a sorry song. It's a very sad song. But he wanted to play the piccolo, but he just couldn't get away with it. He couldn't do it correctly. I mean, his fingers were too big for the little teeny. His fingers were too big. That was his main problem. Did I leave out any words? No, I said Tony Danza Bonanza. Extravaganza Danza. Oh, anyway, that wasn't a bad one. So we'll just save that one. Request for this song. Back to our traffic motif. Besides, I'm going to be driving out to Hope tonight, and we're going to set this up in Hope. And there will be no dropping the phone in water in Hope. Just got to figure out how I'm going to do it. But we do have Wi-Fi out there now. That's what we're going out for. Tomorrow, CenturyLink, part of Earthlink. I don't quite get it. It's going to come by and put Wi-Fi back into the house. So this song got written because I was in a terrible traffic jam on 9th Avenue, and a lady behind me was, it happened to be a lady. Why it had to be a lady, I don't know. But anyway, she was honking and honking, giving me a terrible time. And then finally she passed me and made a rather, well, it wasn't a nice gesture to me. And then something very strange happened to her. Very odd. Which made me feel schadenfreude.
You question me, you take me to task. What is Schadenfreude, you ask, and why do people find it so appealing? Well, Schadenfreude is a dark little void where you feel overjoyed at someone else's misfortune. Is not a generous feeling. Schadenfreude happens deep inside. It's a feeling we try to hide, this finding pleasure in another's pain. I must admit to having enjoyed a recent moment of Schadenfreude, which now I will try to explain. You see, the traffic jam was terrible. Some found it unbearable. Patience was wearing very thin. The lady in the car behind me honked and honked just to remind me, don't let anybody else cut in. She honked and honked, her venom flowing, honked and honked, impatience growing. She was not to be dismissed. Nonetheless, I did not react. I almost found it funny, in fact, as I watched her pound the dashboard with her fist. With her fist. So here we are stuck on 9th Avenue while I am attempting to have a new attitude about things at moments like these. While she sits behind me for 2 hours fuming, I sit here pondering spring flowers blooming, pistol stamen, birds and bees. She was a nuisance and she was a pain, and she was making it so very plain that I must stop being so gentle and loving. She said, you've got to stop cars from cutting in. You've got to stop all that butting in. You got to get out there, start pushing and shoving. Then I must admit she did confound me as she swept her car around me. Slipped right by, then cut in. For an extra little zinger did she flash her middle finger. And that is when the real fun did begin. Ooh, wah, wah. With her insides churning and her road rage burning, she pulled right behind a big truck turning, resulting in a moment so bizarre. Because as it turned, the truck's rear fender did slowly and carefully surgically render complete destruction to the front end of her car. The mashing and bashing did not happen quickly, no, as slowly and sickly. The mashing and bashing did not happen quickly, no, as slowly and sickly. Well, the gnashing of teeth and the bending of steel. And it would be a total lie if I should even try to deny the Schadenfreude I started to feel. Schadenfreude, what can I say? What can we do when we feel this way? We all know it's not polite to gloat. But sometimes when under attack, the fates will toss the enemy right back down the castle wall into the moat. Oh, Schadenfreude, it is not nice. For such a feeling we pay a price. Is it nice to take pleasure in another's pain? I only hope this instantaneous payback doesn't prevent her from finding her way back to a more harmonious refrain. When I finally managed to slowly pass by her, I did not taunt her nor evil eye nor so much as glance at her automobile now destroyed. I passed by the spot where it all had occurred with nary a glance nor discouraging word, but oh my Schadenfreude. Oh my Schadenfreude. Oh my Schadenfreude. Now that bridge is hard to do without the piano. With the insides churning and the road rage burning, with her insides churning and the road rage burning, she pulled right behind a big truck turning. da 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 do da 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 do, then go back da 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 do da da, because you're playing you're not going 1/5, you're going 1 flat 5. Da 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 da. As opposed to da 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 da, but you go da 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 do do. Oh. But I wrote it, so who am I to complain? I wrote it. It's my. And speaking of cars, here's a little song that mentions cars. I mean, today is the first day of alternate side street parking here in New York in 5 weeks, maybe. Is it 5 weeks? And nonetheless, you look out the window and there's people who just will not move for the street cleaner. But behind the street cleaner was a little car, a sanitation car, with a little guy with a camera taking pictures of cars that wouldn't move. So that's going to be a $65 parking spot or more. I'm glad I've had enough tickets. I still get them from time to time, quite accidentally, but I pay them. What are you going to do? This song, I got to remember how it goes. Carbon monoxide is spewing from cars. It blots out the sun and blots out the stars. Heating the atmosphere, scientists say. Melting the ice caps away. This song got written I wrote this in 1980. As the ice melts, it is not surprising. The oceans are ever so steadily rising. Steadily rising through high tide and low. Florida will be first to go. Goodbye Miami, goodbye Lauderdale. Pass me a bucket, pass me a pail. Old folks in condos are up to their knees with the wind and the salt and the sea. Goodbye Miami, goodbye to Sarasota. The Gulf Coast now reaches Pierre, South Dakota. Tampa is damper than ever before. And Key West ain't Key West no more. There'll be no need to worry about air pollution. When you're up to your neck in a saline solution. The tide she come in and she lingers about. But the tide she don't want to go out. Goodbye Miami, goodbye to St. Pete. The ocean has risen about 30 feet. The tops of the toll booths are all that you see as you sail down the parkways for free. Ooh, wah, wah, goodbye Miami, goodbye Lauderdale. Pass me a bucket, pass me a pail. Old folks in condos are up to their knees with the wind and the salt and the sea.
Pitch, pitch. Goodbye, Miami. I wrote that right after reading Rachel Carson's book, whatever the hell the name of that book was, in which she just had it totally correct. Oh, well. There's kind of nice words, but you'll have to use them. Popsicle. Bernie, fine. Hi, Bernie. Phyllis. Hi, hydroxychloroquine. Thank you, Nick. I'm glad I didn't get to that. Bernie Feinberg, Villa. Oh, I'm sorry. Stephen Gold, synonym. Bill Crow, dis. Oh, to dis. I like dis. Seltzer. Stephen Goldberg, seltzer. Fiddlesticks. Gerald Grable is watching. Alvin Kitson, chronic. Yes. Did you ever hear Pete go tweet, tweet, tweet on his piccolo? No. Ever hear Pete go tweet, tweet, tweet on his piccolo? Valerie Leonhart Smalkin is watching. Uh-oh. Tall Russ. I had to do something. Hi, Val. Sweetheart, how are you? That's my sister, Val. Everybody. World's greatest puppeteer. Stephen Goldberg. Hello, hello, hello. Valerie Leonhart, remember, can't you play that thing quieter? Starts and stripes on the outside speakers by the pool. Remember, can't you play that thing quieter? I don't remember that. Oh, Piccolo? Was that what it was? Ayoko Shirosaki is watching. Peter Montgomery is watching. Joe Muccioli is... Joe Muccioli. Everybody see Joe Muccioli? He's going to join me with his crowd sometime... Today is Monday, so it'd be today is Monday. Sometime this week, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, that was a nice song. I like that. I like playing with the bow. I'm going to use that more often. Tritone, the devil interval. Yes. Hello from the Jazz Arts Project. You see that? The Jazz Arts Project. They're going to be joining us one of these nights. Julio Fernandez, Stephen Goldberg, Steve Wexler is watching. Ed Rack of Clinton Recording Studios. Ed, I want to thank you for all the recording sessions we did there. And that was one of the finer experiences of my life, just walking in your studio. The way it worked, the way you ran it was just such a pleasure. Oops, earthquake. Not really, I'm tapping on the music stand, what do they call it? On the piano. The desk. I'm tapping on the desk. I won't do that because we've had it's sounding great. I hope you meant sounding great, Valerie, because I have this nice little microphone that I made work. Get it? The Shure MV88. It really works great, I think. And it took a bath tonight and it still works. I dropped it you weren't here when I came in, but I dropped it in the sink into the water I was washing my hands with. Everything survived. Amazing. Daryl Weinsman. I'm enjoying this. Thank God. I love Goodbye Miami. Thank you, Tomoko. Tampa is Tampa. Well, I had to do that. Jim Steinblatt. So very much in tune. Lovely. Well, I'm enjoying this between online students. Oh, thank you, Daryl. Good. Christopher Lentz. With all kinds of happiness. Perfect. Hello, Vaughn.
Hi.
Excellent song. Very prescient. Silent Spring. That was it. Rachel Carson. Silent Spring. That was it. This is Vaughn. Vaughn's coming. We're going out to Hope right after we finish broadcasting tonight. And we'll broadcast from Hope, New Jersey tomorrow night because we now have Wi-Fi and it won't be a disaster.
Wait, we don't have Wi-Fi.
We're going to have it out there. Tomorrow. Peter Montgomery. Awesome. I'm sure Joni, Michael, and Bob Dylan can learn something here. Yeah, I'm sure they can. They should tune in. Because God knows Joni's got a lot to learn. Yeah. Thank you, Jay. This is how it starts. Bow in the right place. Don't bow where you pick.
I know.
Save this video for yourselves, folks. Press, nice sound. He's getting a nice sound. That song about the ocean. Ooh. Very nice. Now he's actually next lesson I'll teach him how he's a trumpet player. Nope, bow straight across. It has to go straight across the string. Down here, and no, right here, right there. And straight across if you can. That's it. That'll be $50. Silent Spring. Folks, I think that's going to be it. Bruce Escovitz, upright bass, Valerie Leonhart, John playing the piccolo in the music room with accompaniment playing on the outside speakers. You guys say, oh, Valerie, did John ever tell you the story about him playing for the Viet Cong, a concert with the Viet Cong? Could you stop for a second? Just stop for 1 second. You should ask John about playing a concert for the Viet Cong where the whole audience is Vietnam, and they had captured Viet Cong, and they were playing for them, and the whole audience wanted to kill him, kill the whole band. He said that was the worst audience you've ever seen. Meanwhile, my boy, this is Wayne Escoffrey's kid. This is my grandkid. This is Jalen Escoffrey. Blondie. Clear mind, clean mic, take your pick. Vaughn, says Christopher Lentz. Vaughn, hey Vaughn, says Howard, says John Weber. Hi, says Christopher. Tomoko Ono says hi. Jean Gerard Amfasi is watching. John Gerard is it's 2:04 a.m. where you are, I believe. Are you in Antibes or Paris? You're in Antibes, Cap d'Antibes. Wow, nice sound. Well, thank you. Go, Vaughn, go. Nice sound, yeah, on the bass. See you later when your hair is straighter. Valerie Leonhart. Oh, yes, Viet Cong.
What does that mean?
What?
See you later when your hair is
Oh, well, that's the thing. See you later when your hair is straighter. That's just an old saying. So he just played with you for the fun of it.
Oh, okay.
Valerie Leonhart. Hello, Jean Gerard. Okay, it's family time now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7. Joe, hope you will join us with your crowd. And
you should do a morning live stream.
No morning live streams. I have to get up in the morning. I don't like. I have my mornings are very busy, very busy. I have my exercises. I have to make my coffee.
Then I could host it. I could show them the backyard and stuff.
Oh, tomorrow? Well, no, they won't be here. 1 hour is enough at 7.
Makes sense. Okay.
Valerie and Small. See you later, alligator. See you when your hair is straighter. That's it. That's what it is. See you in Jersey. Good night, all. It's time. It's really time to go.
It's impossible to sing and play the bass. You're a lovely group of people. You deserve the courtesy of knowing what you can expect of me. I've practiced, but it will not mean a thing, 'cause it's impossible to play the bass and sing, 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 sing. You see, the bass is fretless. It's not like a guitar. On bass you spend your whole life wondering where the hell you are. It's got no little markers, just a fingerboard so bare.